All right, it is Wednesday morning, and last week I told you I was going to do a financial recap for the entire quarter. So that's what I want to do. So this video is just going to be a brief video, only financials, no sold items, other than I'll just be going through, numbers of items that sold. But this video will be just strictly financials. So yeah, the first quarter of 2020 has started off very well. I have a 300% increase in gross sales, which is pretty great. It's like 298% if you break down the numbers exactly. But I'm going to round up. I'm going to say 300%. So cannot complain about that. So let's get into the numbers.
1, 2.
A bunch of times the reason for this channel, well, one of the main reasons, is to document my progress in my attempt to go from a part-time eBay seller transitioning into more of a full-time eBay seller. I do have another job. I run another business from my home that, man, it would be great if I could get to the point where I could kind of drop that or make that more secondary, because my eBay income becomes so huge I don't need it. But right now my eBay income is a distant second place to that other income from the business I run from home. So that's not even an option until I get my eBay sales up a lot higher. So I keep track of every sale I make. I keep track of everything I spend as far as cost of goods, shipping, eBay charges, all that kind of stuff. And then all of that all gets done in different spreadsheets. You can see I have different tabs here for each month, where I keep track of all my daily sales in those tabs, and then that all reconciles into my monthly totals, deducting all costs and any kind of expenses. It totals up all the items I sold for the month, the gross sales. Well, I'm sorry, the net sales. This is my net sales number after all expenses are deducted. The profit. So the profit, maybe I'm wording that wrong. So this is gross sales, then the profit I made off of those sales, and the percentage of profit compared to the sales. So I would like my percentages to be a little higher. I do buy a lot of things wholesale and sell, so my profit margin isn't as big on those items. But 99% of, for instance, the used records that I sell, I mean, that's as close to 100% profit as you can get, because it's either my personal items or it was purchased so long ago, I just term it as old stock when I track all my costs. And then the other part of that is, when I had the store, I was buying huge collections of things, and the prices of those individual albums, when you broke it down, I mean, a lot of times it was like, it would all boil down to like 10 cents or 20 cents a record, because there's so much common stuff that, you get 1,000 records and you pay somebody, $100 or something like that. It boils down to like 10 cents a record or something. So I had a lot of those kind of situations. And then on top of that, I had a lot of people that just would come in, give me records for store credit and that kind of thing. And that's harder to put a dollar figure on. So like I said, all the stuff I purchased, you know, back in 2010 through 2012 when I had the store. I don't even, because it was so long ago, I don't even deduct anything from that because it was so long ago. So anyway, so this is all my boiled down numbers so far year to date. And when I started the channel in January, these were my sales. I only sold 89 items in January for total sales of $1,069.23 and a total profit off that number of $525, which was almost a 50% profit, but but real bad. So and the whole reason I did that is because that's where my sales were going. This is the spreadsheet showing those same numbers from 2019, and I only started keeping track of every single item and the profit on every single item since 2018. So you can see my sales from 2018, total sales were 43,000, almost 44,000, with a profit after everything of almost 16,000. And then when I talk about how bad 2019 was, you can see, I mean, my sales were almost cut in half. Profit actually held pretty strong comparatively, and you can see why, because that profit margin there. But you can see it also where they started, and it just was going down, 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 down. And, you know, it was around November was when I made the decision I really need to put in some work. And because I know what you can do. I know what my eBay store can do, especially, you know, when you look at the previous year, 2018. When I put in a lot of time listing things and sourcing, and I know I can make good money on eBay, and it just takes time and some hard work. And so you can see when I was spending less time on my store, my sales just started dropping off big time. So so it was around you know, October, November, when I was like, I need to do something. That's when I thought about creating a YouTube channel and that kind of thing. And then in January, I started my YouTube channel and really started putting in time. So you can see when I really started working hard on this stuff, you know, my sales started jumping up. And then in March, obviously we're still in April. It's only April 8th. And I think I said this in a different video that I'm already only 8 days into this month, and I'm already over my sales for the entire month of January. So I've really been trying to list a lot, and you can see that paid off. So the main thing I wanted to show here is the entire month of January, those were my sales, and they tripled. From January to March, I tripled my sales. So that's really huge. And I'm really happy about that. Obviously, nowhere near the numbers I need to do to make a full-time living off of eBay, but I'm definitely heading in the right direction. And I think this also shows, I mean, if you really start listing, I think at that point in January, I had somewhere between 400 and 500 items in my store, and now I'm almost at 1,000, which is where I want to be. I want to be 1,000 or 1,200. So I doubled the number of listings between January and March, and you know, went from like 480 to like 960, and I'm kind of holding steady in that that level, about 960, 970 listings. But I want to get to the point where I'm averaging 1,000 to 1,200. But I'm not quite there yet. So now let's go and look at our dashboard here. And this will just show you, if you remember when I first started showing my sales numbers and all that, these low sales days were like, I think I had a few were like $3, $6, that kind of thing. And now my low sales days are like 20, 40. So my bad sales days are still way better than they used to be, and my good sales days are like 3 times higher than my good sales days used to be back in January. So So a lot more days where I'm above $100. The last 7 days here, I've done over 1,000, and the last 31 days I've done 3,400. So that was kind of my first stepping stone goal. If you remember, I wanted to get to the point where I was averaging $100 a day in sales. I've exceeded that pretty consistently over the last month, and my last 90-day sales, I'm almost at 7,000 for 90 days, which again, I mean, this is nothing to write home about. It's nothing huge, but that's what we're doing. I'm trying to document my stepping stone. So hopefully, like this time next year, that number for the last 90 days is maybe like 10,000 or 16,000 or something like that. And so these are just the baby steps that it takes to get to a full-time revenue. So there you go. I just wanted to kind of go through that, show you how I track my sales in my spreadsheets. So like I said, I just wanted to do a really quick video just showing where my sales have come from January to now. We are April 8th of 2020. So I don't remember the exact date I started my channel, but it was sometime in mid-January. So let's say it was January 8th, which it wasn't. I think it was later, but you're like from January 8th to February 8th, March 8th, April 8th. So it's been right around 3 months. And so you can really see the progress that I've made, which I'm really happy about. And I'm not just showing this to pat myself on the back. I'm putting this out there to show what you can do out there on eBay and the money that you can make. And if you put in the time and put in the work, and if you watch my channel at all, you can see the stuff I'm selling isn't super high dollar amount stuff. It's pretty, I mean, it's used records that I make, you know, $2, $3, $10 a piece on. It's nothing huge. And my sales have gone from, you know, about $1,000 a month to well over 3,000. And from the looks of this month, fingers crossed, I'm hoping to break 4,000 in gross sales for this month. And my profit on that, from the way things are shaking out, should hopefully be around 2 grand, something like that. So if you boil that down, and let's just say over the course of this whole year of 2020, that turns out to be my average, you're talking about 48 to 50,000 in gross sales. Like I said, with a profit of around 2 grand. So on, let's just, for argument's sake, just say 50,000 gross sales. The way my numbers are shaking out, I should profit about 25,000. And if I keep working the way I'm working, that should be totally doable. And then do I expect my sales to triple every quarter? No, that'd be great, but I'm not expecting that. I think it initially, because I went from not really that much work to a lot of work, I think I'm going to see that spike just like I expected to see, and which I did see. But now I think it's going to be more of a grind. I think every double up or triple up is going to take a lot of work, and I'm going to have to get more specific on sourcing. Going to have to make, find items I can make more profit on, that kind of thing, to really see the big jump in numbers that I'm seeing right now. To see that again, to triple again, to go from 1 to 3 is one thing, to go from 3,000 to 9,000 in a month, that's a different animal. But that's where I want to get to. If I can hit that kind of level within the next 9 months or so, fantastic. But I don't know. That seems pretty far-fetched. But that's the whole point of this channel. So however we end up a year from now, you'll see it all play out for you on my channel. So and there's another main takeaway from all of this that I don't want to get lost in the shuffle here. Obviously, my channel is very music focused, with used records, CDs, collectible supplies, music instrument supplies, guitar strings, that kind of thing. if you're sitting there watching my channel going, that's great, he's making a lot of money selling records and all that. I don't have 20,000 records to sell. You don't have, this applies to everything. It applies to anything. Anything that you want to sell. If you like vintage t-shirts, go out and acquire vintage t-shirts and mark them up and sell those. What the point is, whatever you're into. I'm into music. Music's my big thing. I can't think of a better way to spend my day than listing items on eBay while listening to records to make sure they play well, so then tomorrow I can list that record that I just listened to. I can list that on eBay and sell that. That's the way I spend my time. That's and I enjoy it immensely. So the key is to not focus on what I'm selling, apply it to what you want to sell. Lots of people out there are grabbing stuff at yard sales, garage sales, estate sales, that kind of thing. Figure out what you're into, find a way to buy those kind of things cheap and resell them for more money. I mean, and that's just business 101. I just happen to choose music. That's my thing. It's what I'm into. Hey, if you're into that too, this is a great kind of pathway that I'm showing. That if you have a big record collection or whatever, I mean, you can see on my channel what records are selling for. You can kind of get an idea how long they've been up on my store, that kind of thing. So you can see what the marketplace is doing out there. If you want to draw that direct parallel from what I'm doing to what you're doing. But the main point is you can apply what I'm doing to anything that you want to sell. And like I said, a lot of the items that I sell, I only make, I'm only making like 50% profit is kind of my, as you saw in the numbers, that's the way it's all shaking down. So if you can buy something for $1, whatever it is, and after all your costs and everything, you make you get your dollar back plus $1. So at the end of all this, I hope this information is useful. I hope everybody, I hope you can get something out of it. And because that's really the point of all of this. Documenting it for myself, but also showing you guys what's possible out there in reseller land. So anyway, thanks a lot for watching. If you're new to my channel, please like and subscribe. Let me know you're out there. Shoot me a comment if you have any questions about my numbers or anything like that. I appreciate it, and we will catch you on the flip side.